Welcome to our interview session. We're looking to fill an Azure Cloud Engineer position, and we'll be going through a series of scenario-based questions to understand your expertise. Let's start with some foundational topics. A new client wants to migrate their on-premises file server to Azure. They need a simple and cost-effective solution to store and access files over the internet. What Azure service would you recommend and why?
For this scenario, I would recommend Azure Blob Storage. It's a highly scalable and cost-effective object storage solution perfect for unstructured data like files. By creating a container within a storage account, they can easily upload their files and access them securely via HTTPS from anywhere in the world.
Imagine that same client also wants to share files with their internal users, using the familiar mapped drive experience they had on premises. What would you suggest?
In that case, Azure Files would be the ideal solution. It provides fully managed file shares in the cloud that are accessible via the standard server message block protocol, allowing users to map the Azure file share as a network drive.
You are tasked with creating a new virtual network, or VNet. The VNet will host a web application with a front end and a back end tier. How would you design the VNet to ensure security and isolation?
I would design the VNet with at least two subnets, one for the front end and another for the back end. I'd then apply network security groups to each subnet. The front-end NSG would allow inbound traffic on port 443 HTTPS from the internet, while the back-end NSG would only allow traffic from the front-end subnet's IP range on the required database port.
A critical virtual machine needs to be highly available and protected from hardware failures within a single Azure data center. What feature would you use during the VM's creation?
I would place the virtual machine into an availability set. This distributes the VMs across different fault domains and update domains, ensuring that at least one VM remains available during hardware failures or planned maintenance.
A new junior administrator has joined your team. They need to be able to monitor virtual machines, but should not have the permission to modify or delete them. How would you grant them the necessary access?
I would assign them the built-in monitoring reader role on the specific resource group or subscription using Azure's role-based access control. This adheres to the principle of least privilege.
A development team frequently forgets to shut down their development VMs over the weekend, leading to unnecessary costs. What's a simple way to automate the shutdown of these VMs?
I would configure the auto shutdown feature available on each virtual machine. You can set a specific time and time zone for the VM to be deallocated each day, which is a simple yet effective way to control costs.
A company needs to establish a secure, encrypted connection between their on-premises network and their Azure VNet. What Azure service would you use for this?
I would set up a site-to-site S2S VPN gateway. This creates a secure IPsec or IC VPN tunnel over the public internet, extending their on-premises network into Azure.
A user reports that their VM was rebooted unexpectedly. How would you investigate who or what caused the reboot?
I would check the Azure activity log for the specific VM resource. The activity log captures all management-level operations performed on Azure resources, including who initiated an action and when it occurred.
You are provisioning a new VM that will host a production database with high I/O requirements. Which type of managed disk would you choose and why?
I would choose a premium SSD managed disk. Premium SSDs are backed by solid-state drives and are designed for I/O-intensive workloads, providing high performance and low latency, which is essential for a production database.
A developer needs to RDP into an Azure VM from their home computer. What's the most straightforward way to enable this, and what is a key security consideration?
The most straightforward way is to assign a public IP address to the VM's network interface and ensure the NGS allows inbound RDP traffic. However, a critical security consideration is that this exposes the VM to the public internet. A more secure alternative would be to use Azure Bastion.